Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, it seems like for the first time in a long time, Floyd Mayweather has been extremely verbal when it comes to him telling the media what he thinks about Manny Pacquiao, negotiations, and a possible fight. Mayweather's been taking a lot of shots at Manny Pacquiao and, of course, Bob Arum. It seems to me like Mayweather feels that this is basically a big case of karma when it comes to Manny Pacquiao in regards to what happened in the past negotiations. Now, before I go any further, I want to go ahead and read a big chunk of this interview that Floyd Mayweather did. And then after that, I'll go ahead and decipher exactly what this interview means and what it could possibly mean in the future. Let's go ahead and get into the actual interview. So this guy's got all these problems and he wants Floyd Mayweather to solve them, huh? He's got 68 million problems and he wants me to solve them. First, he didn't need me. Now he needs me. He's willing to do anything now after his career done took a major setback. First, he wanted 50-50. Now he's like, Floyd, give me anything. Throw an old desperate dog a bone. This man got 68 million problems. Now he wants Floyd Mayweather to solve his problems when he was just saying he's on the same level as me. He basically told me, fuck you. I don't need you. I don't need your $40 million. I'm getting the same type of money you're getting. So if you're getting the same type of money that I'm getting, you don't need me. End quote. It seems to me that Floyd Mayweather is still somewhat bitter from the time that he actually called up Manny Pacquiao on the phone and offered him the $40 million. It just sounds as if Floyd Mayweather was offended that Manny Pacquiao would turn down this $40 million and basically say, you need me just as much as I need you, Floyd. But looking back in hindsight, if you look at the direction that Pacquiao's career went and the direction that Floyd Mayweather's career went following the conversation that Pacquiao and Mayweather had on the phone, I think it's safe to say that Manny Pacquiao did run into some serious bad luck. I mean, just think about it. Like I said, right after the conversation that Mayweather and Pacquiao had on the phone, Manny Pacquiao, he loses 2 fights in a row. He gets knocked out. He has the lowest pay-per-view numbers that he's ever had. And now he owes the IRS millions and millions of dollars. You know, I'm going to say something real quick about the money that he owes to the IRS. I'm still trying to understand this because they say he owes the IRS $68 million. And last time I checked, Manny Pacquiao, he didn't even make $68 million, in those 2 years that they're trying to collect. So I really want to get more information on that, trying to understand how this man could owe so much money. How does he owe way more money than he's actually even worth? Like I said, he didn't even make that much money in his last 3 or 4 fights. So I don't understand that, but it's clear that he owes some kind of money. I don't know if it's really $68 million, but he is in a hole right now. And a lot of people in Pacquiao's team are now blaming advisor Michael Kantz for all the money that he owes to the IRS. Now, that's a whole nother story, but the point that I'm making is, since they both had that conversation, Mayweather and Pacquiao's career has went downhill. Mayweather's career, it went the total opposite direction. Just like I said before, it was like the movie Trading Places, okay? One person is doing horrible, the other person is doing fantastic. Now, this is where I do want to criticize Floyd Mayweather a little bit when it comes to his antics and everything that he's saying right now. Now, when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, inside the ring, Floyd Mayweather is the most intelligent fighter there is. Maybe the most smartest fighter of all time. All right? I mean, this man, you could call him the brain when it comes to fighting inside of that ring. No one can really outthink Floyd Mayweather. Very intelligent. He's operating from the right hemisphere of the brain, something that at least 95% of other fighters cannot do. Now, when it comes to outside of the ring, when it comes to interviews, when it comes to Floyd Mayweather making any type of comments about even boxing, a lot of times it shows that Floyd Mayweather is not the smartest man when it comes to talking about the sport or talking about anything else. I think we can agree. We've seen Floyd Mayweather in so many interviews before, and I know me personally, I seen him say stuff, and I'm like, dude, that was a perfect question for you to really elaborate on that question and make a lot of sense. And a lot of times he would say something that didn't really make sense. And numerous interviews, even interviews after the fight, even when he does a post-fight interview, Jim Gray or whoever it is asking him a question, and it seems like Floyd Mayweather, he will never really answer the question directly. He'll say something kind of, away from the question. It sounds a little evasive. Even when he's just talking about how he beat the guy that he just beat. All right? Even when he did the interview with Michael Eric Dyson, professor, on HBO, Dyson asked him a lot of questions that Floyd Mayweather should have been able to, knock out the park, right? But Mayweather, he would answer the questions in, I would say, a non-intelligent way, okay? He had some good questions that was thrown at him, and he could have really made a significant statement. I mean, the questions were set up for him perfectly, but he didn't do that. Okay? So, once again, the point that I'm making is when it comes to Floyd Mayweather doing interviews and all of the stuff, he is not the smartest person. He is not going to always say something that makes a whole bunch of sense. Like when it comes to this situation right here, where he's talking about, Manny Pacquiao. Now, like I said, Mayweather does have a point when he says, you were pretty much looking at me like you didn't need me when I offered you the $40 million. Well, look at you now. Look at how things have turned for the worse. You should have took the damn money. And that's basically the gist of it. But the point that I'm making is, when you continue, if you're saying this stuff to Bob Arum directly, if you're saying this to a whole bunch of business people, then a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, I totally agree, Floyd Mayweather. But when you're saying this stuff to the fans, the truth of the matter is, these fans, they don't care about all of this business. They really don't. People just want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. Everyone wants to see this fight. This fight, it needs to happen. Now, I totally agree with Floyd Mayweather when I say his career won't be solely defined on this fight alone, because Floyd Mayweather has done so much, and not only has he done so much, but Floyd Mayweather continued to win when Manny Pacquiao could not continue to win, fighting the same opponents that Floyd Mayweather was fighting. All right, so, that's basically what Floyd means when he says his career won't be defined solely on a Manny Pacquiao fight. But I will say that beating Manny Pacquiao would definitely be the cherry on top of the sundae. Okay? Even though Manny Pacquiao has lost, 2 of his last 3 fights. But if Manny Pacquiao can go through the entire 2014 without losing, which, it's sad that we even think that way of Manny Pacquiao, because if Pacquiao was on the level of Floyd Mayweather, I wouldn't even be saying that. It would be a far-going conclusion that he would go undefeated, for the year 2014. All right? But we know that Manny Pacquiao is not a Floyd Mayweather. And the point is, he has a very tough year ahead of him if he's thinking about fighting Bradley and Ruslan Provodnikov. That is a very tough lineup for Manny Pacquiao. Another thing I want to bring up is, once again, the double standards in the sport of boxing. As much as I want to see a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, I totally agree that this fight alone is not going to define Floyd Mayweather's career as much as people think it will. A lot of people just believe that Manny Pacquiao has a chance of beating Floyd Mayweather, and that's the reason why some people want to see it. Some people just want to see Floyd Mayweather go in there and beat Pacquiao to shut up, the very casual Pacquiao fans as well. But the reason I talk about double standards is because the truth is, if everything that just happened to Manny Pacquiao in the last 2 years, after he had the conversation with Floyd Mayweather offering him that $40 million. If all of those things actually happened to Floyd Mayweather, where Floyd Mayweather lost 2 fights, and then Floyd Mayweather got knocked out by the same guy that Manny Pacquiao beat easy. Let's say it's Miguel Cotto. Floyd Mayweather gets knocked out by Miguel Cotto, right? If all of these things happen to Floyd Mayweather, do you think any of the Manny Pacquiao fans and the casual fans and the rest of the world will be saying that Manny Pacquiao is ducking Floyd Mayweather and he doesn't want to fight him, and this is the fight that needs to happen, and this is the fight that's going to define Manny Pacquiao's career? No one will be saying that. You know why they wouldn't be saying that? They wouldn't be saying that because they were like, man, are you crazy? Floyd Mayweather just lost 2 of his last fights, and he lost to Miguel Cotto. The fact that he lost to Miguel Cotto and got knocked out by him alone proves that Manny Pacquiao was always the better fighter, right? If you had some people calling Manny Pacquiao the fighter of the decade a year or 2 ago, imagine what they would have been saying about Manny Pacquiao if Floyd Mayweather would have got knocked out by Miguel Cotto. He would have been considered the greatest fighter of all time. They would have said, it's no reason, and I can guarantee you, the media would have been saying there is no reason to see a Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight. The fact that Floyd Mayweather could not beat a guy that Manny Pacquiao beat easy, that already proves that Manny Pacquiao is the best, and there's no need for us to even see that fight. It's irrelevant now. We already have our answer. This is what people would be saying. Because you still have people today saying that, Manny did a better job against Miguel Cotto than Floyd Mayweather did. Floyd Mayweather, he won the whole fight. He lost maybe like 2 or 3 rounds in the fight, and people still say that. So imagine if Floyd would have got knocked out by Miguel Cotto, okay? So these are some more of the double standards that exist in the sport of boxing today. Just like Floyd Mayweather said, I have to agree. He was like, I have to basically, you guys telling me I have to fight Marquez's leftovers, Tim Bradley's leftovers. People would not demand that Manny Pacquiao challenge Floyd Mayweather. You know why? The double standard exists because people just want to see Mayweather lose. They don't want to see Manny Pacquiao lose. They want to see Mayweather lose. So they wouldn't demand Manny Pacquiao to fight Mayweather after Mayweather done already lost, because that's all they wanted to see in the first place, is to see Mayweather lose. So then they would look at it as, we don't even want to give Mayweather a chance of beating Manny Pacquiao. So no, we don't even want to see that fight. We don't want to see that fight. Just like fans didn't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight Tim Bradley. Fans never wanted to see the Bradley fight. Like I said, I did a prediction on that video like 5 months before the fight, had even came to fruition. And basically, soon as I made the video, you had all these people saying, why does this guy deserve to fight Pacquiao? He doesn't deserve to. This fight is garbage, and et cetera, and the fighter is garbage. Bradley is garbage, et cetera, right? So after Pacquiao had been fighting all these guys who have been coming off of their biggest losses, their biggest knockout losses, all of a sudden, Manny Pacquiao is fighting a guy who's young, undefeated, a junior welterweight unified champion, okay? A slick American-style fighter, and this is the guy that they did not want Manny Pacquiao to fight. It was clear. It was because they were in fear that Tim Bradley would beat Manny Pacquiao. Like I said, when you basically decipher what they were saying, they were basically just saying, please don't give this guy the opportunity to be the first person to beat Manny Pacquiao in the last 6 or 7 years. And that's exactly what happened. Why do you think people don't want to see Canelo Pacquiao? No one's talking about it. Because they don't want to see Pacquiao lose to Canelo. Because Pacquiao probably would lose to him. But anyway, Manny Pacquiao's contract is up at the end of 2014. So hopefully if he doesn't lose this year, we can see that fight in 2015 or even in September earlier. I'm on to the next one.